What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and good morning to Wake Up and Ball with Richie Malora and Tony Dow. We are here live at 8:30 a.m. on a Wednesday, episode number 3. We got a whole slate of topics to get into today across the NFL, the NBA, and even we're going to get into some baseball this morning. I got to teach Tony some baseball because there's a lot of things to get into. We also have our first guest coming on the Wake Up and Ball show this morning. This show is being powered and brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook, the number one online sportsbook on the face of the planet. Big time shout out to you as always. Tony, good morning, my friend.
Good morning, man. I'm loving the music, man. A nice little vibe coming in. That's what I'm talking about, Richie.
Come on, we don't mess around. Wake up and ball. What do you think? What do you think this is? We don't mess around when we wake up and ball. All right. So hit the like button on your way in. Good morning to JD the Great. Good afternoon, boys. It's the afternoon for Teddy, apparently. So we're gonna get into a lot of things. We're gonna be talking about a lot of things across the NBA that happened because the play-in tournament was last night. All right. The first game of the NBA Cup. The New York Knicks took care of their business. All right. We have NFL talks to get into. We got a lot of fun things. And also, there's a New York Jets topic we're going to get into, and that's who the special guest will be because there's some interesting things going around the New York Knicks world when it comes to the New York Knicks and our own players. All right, so let's get straight into business. How are you doing this morning, TD? Anything that's on your mind this morning?
No, just a beautiful morning, man. I'm excited to keep talking ball, man, in every arena. I can't wait to get in a little bit of baseball because I'm going to be leaning on you to get me more and more verse, man. A lot of stuff going on out here. All I had to hear was potentially $700 million for a contract. And I'm like, who is that and why? Like, that is crazy, man. We're going to get into that and so much more. But thank y'all for tuning in to Wake Up and Ball in the morning with Richie and myself. I'm excited about the show. Let's get it popping.
Let's get it popping indeed. Now, the first thing I want to get into is actually my New York Knicks because they went out there and had a big-time win last night in Philadelphia against the 76ers. TD, this is a big game because it got the Knicks back to 6-6. This was the first game of the NBA Cup. The Philadelphia 76ers are struggling this season, but they had Joel Embiid back for the first time this season, and we saw a well-balanced effort from the Knicks. I mean, you see it on your screen. All the starting five was in double figures, and even our sixth man, Deuce McBride, had 15. The problem with the Knicks is the depth because of the injuries that we have on our bench unit. We're still waiting for Mitchell Robinson to come back, but this was a game that the Knicks cruised through, and the most important piece of this game for me was the fourth quarter. They dominated. So the Knicks, they're well-balanced on offense, and you can see it right here. This is what you call a well-balanced effort from the New York Knicks.
Yeah, one thing I'll say is the Knicks, they have the roster as Karl-Anthony Towns continues to get, better and better with the chemistry with the unit, with a plus 11 last night. That's strong. But let me say this. I'm a little concerned about Jalen Brunson. I think that, I always put him on my little tickets, that he going to hit this amount of points and things like that. And he comes up short more than, and no pun intended, but he comes up short quite a bit. And then when you look at last night, you just can't get it going from the three-point line. Just looking for him to make some of those, and then those averages will definitely come up. Do you have any concern with his play as of late? Is that something, and you're probably not worried about it long-term, but as of right now, is that a little bit of a concern?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that Knicks fans are talking about because where is Jalen Brunson that we fell in love with, right? Last year, he was fifth in MVP voting, and he averaged over 28 points per game last season. He's not doing that right now. I think for him, he's trying to figure out his role with Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns is a star, and I think it takes time for them to get on the same page in terms of, like, taking his shots. When do I give the shot to Cat? When do I take my own shots? And it's not falling right now. So I don't think it's a long-term concern like you said, but it's definitely something Knicks fans are a little concerned about in terms of the now. We need our captain, right? The Knicks anointed him a captain of the franchise, which is not the case for the Knicks. They don't just anoint anybody a captain. So he took the big pay cut so the Knicks can get a player like Karl-Anthony Towns. But the good news is we have so much talent around him where we're not depending on him. Right? That's the difference. Last year when Julius Randle got hurt, TD, there was nobody on this roster around Jalen Brunson where he had to be the superhero. He had to put up 30-plus a night. That's not the case anymore. We got OG Anunoby, who was balling. We added Bridges. You added Cat. Like, Brunson does not need to get 30 a night in order to win, and I think that's the adjustment he needs to make.
One thing I'll say, like last night's win, in my opinion, it actually was impressive when you really think about it. Joel Embiid, I don't know what's going on with him, only 13 points. Now, this is the Joel Embiid we used to. I ain't gonna say that now, Rich.
His first game back of the season. Knicks own him,
so
come on.
So well, but we know Joel could drop 40 like that. So last night, maybe it was the rust, maybe it was just him trying to feel the game, but they're going to need a lot more from him moving forward. But I know they're happy to have him back. Paul George did his thing on y'all last night, though. He was getting buckets the entire game. Martin, if I'm not mistaken, from Miami, had a solid game as well. But, certain guys just got to step up, man. And I didn't know much about McCain, and McCain was,
rookie.
I didn't know much about him, coming into this game until I was watching. I was like, this kid putting up some buckets, man. So Philly got something going if Embiid gets back to form. But solid win for the Knicks, doing what they need to do. Brunson, we waiting.
Yeah, man, for real. And now the Knicks got a big stretch of games coming up, 4 home games in a row after, and then they go on a West Coast trip. So big time win for the Knicks. Shout out to Josh Hart for a triple-double.
I was just about to say, who was your player of the game for the Knicks?
I mean, it could be OG Anunoby, who led the way with 24 points on an efficient 11 of 16. Josh Hart had a triple-double, so it's hard to give it to him. He's the glue.
Josh Hart.
He's such an underrated piece of this team. He's just a born winner, man. He really is a born winner. So I love it. And Deuce McBride, you got to give him some love because we need bench. And he's our sixth man, 15 points off the bench and an efficient 50% from the field. You got to love it. And then even Bridges had a good game, 14 points, 7 of 13. I mean, Cat, this was just a well-balanced effort where you can really pick who you want out of a hat and you can give them some praise. So let's see if the Knicks can use this as momentum because Knicks fans are getting a little concerned. Now, getting into the next topic, which is a different sport, is your Miami Dolphins. Will the Dolphins go on a run? Now, you see the 3 opponents they got upcoming. You got the Raiders, the Patriots, and the Green Bay Packers. Tony Dow is on here spewing nonsense on the media world that the Dolphins are going to win every single game the rest of the season and maybe lose one more, which will get them to 10 wins. So you see what Tua did against the Rams, 71 completion percentage, 270 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 turnovers, and an 89.4 rating. Do the Dolphins have what it takes to win these next 3 games in a row, or maybe these 2 and then lose to the Packers? Where you're at right now with these Miami Dolphins?
Yeah, we just beat the Rams, a nice impressive win for the Miami Dolphins. The team will beat the Raiders and the Patriots, okay? That's a 3-game winning streak. That's what you call a run, all right? But outside of that, man, when you go to that Green Bay game on Thursday night coming off of a short week, that's another thing nobody's going to be talking about. You're going to get beat up playing New England, a divisional rival who's playing better football right now. We're going to win that game, but you're going to be beat up, man. And then literally 4 days later, you got to go in the cold weather, Green Bay. It's going to be tough, Richie, because we're not going to have much preparation for that game either. On that Monday, people are going to be resting. They're going to be resting, licking their wounds, hopefully getting the game plan early, but they're going to be resting. And the team they're going to have to travel on Wednesday. You're not going to fly into Green Bay on a Thursday, get off the plane and strap up. No, you're going to probably have to leave on Wednesday, be in the environment for Thursday so you can get your breathing right and all of that with the altitude. It's just a short week. They're going to be able to practice on Tuesday, walk through on Tuesday, light practice early Wednesday, travel Wednesday evening, and, check in and get ready to play on Thursday night. That game is just set up for the Miami Dolphins to lose. I will say this, if the Miami Dolphins beat the Green Bay Packers, they're going undefeated for the rest of the season. If they can beat the Green Bay Packers, they will go undefeated for the rest of the season because that is the biggest opponent that they have, with the exception of maybe San Francisco, but I think Miami can beat them too, and they also have Houston. But yeah, they figure out a way to beat Green Bay in 30 degrees, might I add. It'll be 30 degrees. The forecast has a high of 38 and a low of 24. And around that time, it's projected to be about 30 degrees and getting lower and lower as the night creeps on. It's just right now, we don't know if it's going to be snow, rain. We have no idea until maybe like another 3 or 4 days when they get the forecast a little more accurate. So it's going to be tough. So I think that we hit a brick wall right there if I'm going to be fair. Now, I believe, we're playing our best version of football, but yeah, Tua's been playing a lot better too. So we'll see. We'll see.
I made this topic to test you to see if this is going to feed into the delusion or you saw the light a little bit. But
was I being delusional? Did it sound delusional?
Nah, man. You have realistic points. I feel like, right at the end of the day, you're seeing your Miami Dolphins win a football game, and it reminds you, oh wait, this is what it's like to win. This is the taste of victory.
Oh, man, yeah.
So you got 2 winnable games at home. And let's be honest, man, you got to win both of those games, otherwise it's a wrap. That's how I look at it. I mean, you talk about winnable games, and you're so confident that upsets don't happen in this league. You're so confident that like bad teams don't beat better teams. Like that happens.
Yeah.
So if I were you, I would stop saying with all the confidence in the world that it's a 100,000,000% guarantee you're beating the Raiders and the Patriots, because that's I think your problem. You're looking past them and looking at the Packers. You're just like you're making it seem like it is all guarantee, and we both know that's not the case.
It's not the case. Nothing's guaranteed in the NFL, but here's what I'll say, Richie. If we're going to be the team we want us to be, then those games need to be guaranteed. So I'm going to speak as if it is, and then worry about the game that probably isn't more so guaranteed, which is the Green Bay Packers.
All right. Well, we shall see. All right. The next topic we got, which is going to be a fun one, because we have a special guest for this one. All right. So if you guys are plugged into the Jets lore, if you're plugged into the Jets situation that's going on, all right, we have a situation going on between the Jets players and Jets fans. So Sauce Gardner responded to a great friend of us, great friend of the Roundtable Sports Network, great friend of mine personally, fellow Jets content creator, Matt O'Leary. And Matt O'Leary was doing something very simple. He went on there and criticized Sauce Gardner for not making a tackle. And Sauce went on there and he responded to Mr. Matt O'Leary on X. So it's very interesting. All right, very interesting stuff here. And I'm very curious to see what Matt O'Leary has to say. Now, the good news is we have Matt O'Leary backstage ready to join us to give us his thoughts of this. So, with that being said, we're going to hear from Matt O'Leary. And did you see any of this, TD, before we bring him in? Did you see any of this, or this is your first time hearing about it?
First time. So Sauce is getting active on X?
Oh, yeah. He deletes it, though, so you can't really go see it anymore.
Oh, so we don't know what he said anymore?
No, we don't. But here's Matt O'Leary in the house. Matt, tell us, man, what's going on with the situation last night, bro?
Yeah, that was a weird one. It was as simple as it started with my reaction to another Sauce Gardner deleted tweet where he was responded to Rich Cimini, a beat reporter for the Jets, where Rich Cimini pointed out that there were 20 missed tackles in the Jets game, and that the most costly one was the Sauce Gardner missed tackle on 3rd down. And then Sauce responded to that and kind of brushed it off and sarcastically was saying, like, sure, I'm sure my missed tackle in the second quarter is what cost us the game. And all I said was I want him to log off and take some accountability. And then a few hours later, he tweeted at me, which was not expected. I responded to him and told him again, just please log off. The beef has since been squashed, but it was definitely a weird Monday. Was not expecting that to go down.
Matt, do you remember what he tweeted at you?
Yeah, I have it if you want me to read it.
He told Matt to suit up.
He did. He did. He challenged me to play corner in the NFL. So he said, I am very accountable, and my teammates know I owe it to them, not you or anybody else on this app. I missed one tackle and gave up like 19 yards. Do I want each of those plays back? Of course, but how about you come play corner in the NFL for a week and let me know how it goes? Winky face at Matt O'Leary NY.
And you're not in the building?
No, I know. I didn't get it.
I would have showed up and be like, hey, I got an invite. I have an invite. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me, man? Go ahead, Richie. Go ahead. I'll let you.
No, man. I mean, listen, that was definitely crazy to hear. See that, Matt. When I saw that on Twitter, I was floored a little bit that we had our own player come out there and basically just take a shot at one of our own. Now, we all love Sauce. I know that you love Sauce. You're not doing anything wrong, but he actually went out there and said what he had to say. And then we had our great friend on X bring this gem together. So we have Matt ready to go as the new Jets corner. Matt, have you doing any training in your preparation?
Listen, I got the size. I have the height. I'm 6'4", but I probably got to drop like 20, 25 pounds to get to corner weight. I mean, if they need like a possession tight end, I think I got them right now. But if I need to cover these speedy wide receivers, I'm going to need a little bit of time here. But look, I'm not going to pretend that I could actually play at the NFL level. I always think that's a lame cop-out when players come and say that. Like, if the only people who could talk about the NFL are current players or players who are in the league, like that just seems like such a weird line to draw. Like, I don't know. I'm a fan like anybody else. I feel like it was a valid criticism. I'm not, in players' DMs cursing them out or saying things about their family. I was just like, wish this guy would log off and give a better effort tackling. And I don't know. I want him to be better in 2025. I'm not out on Sauce Gardner. I just wish he would log off sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to the whole notion of like stay off of social media and kind of just put your head down and work. But he's not doing that. So I feel like at the end of the day, this is the drama when the Jets start to lose. I feel like this is something that's been very consistent amongst the Jets fan base. When we lose Matt, we were a toxic fan base, and the players seem like they're very, very plugged in to us Jets fans. If you haven't noticed yet, right? It feels like whatever we say, they listen. Same thing goes with Woody Johnson.
Yeah, it's not just Sauce, by the way. It's it's all these players. They feel like they're online. Quincy Williams had the Instagram story too. I don't know if you saw, but yeah, I just things are going really bad, and when things go bad, it starts to get a little crazy town, which is where we are right now.
You're gonna say TD?
Yeah, well, I just want to chime in on this, all right? And Matt being respectful and nice about it, but I'm sorry. Let's break this down here. See, this is the new age of football with these football players. This is what you call guys that get in their feelings, okay? Now, was there truth to what you said? Absolutely. Now, I also understand what he's saying. It's not the reason we lost the game. That's just one of the many reasons. But, no need to amplify it on me. That's how he's feeling. But the problem we have with today's athletes, they want to express their feelings in public. Instead of turning those feelings, you could read what's happening in the public. You could be fueled by it. How about next week go out and have your best game this year? Speak in your play. So Matt O'Leary and others can go out and say, that's the Sauce I know. And then go out and reply to a tweet. You see what I'm saying? Take some ownership, take some responsibility for your bad play, and stop getting in your feelings because you feel like the tweet read as if you were the main reason they lost. Stop. Go transform that into your play on the field. It's a level of sensitivity. But let me say this too, Matt. Don't cut yourself short, bro. Don't cut yourself short. Put that picture up with Matt in that jersey again, Richie, please. Listen, Matt. See, you're better than me because I would have responded to Sauce. And I would have told him, when I look at that jersey with you on, it looks like you ready, in my opinion. Why? Because all you have to do is hold on to players like Sauce does, and you'll make it in the NFL. We all could hold people all day, and that's all he's been doing all year. You cannot see him tell me he hasn't been getting holding call after holding call after holding call. He's being exposed this year. He hasn't been playing his best football. He needs to own it. He needs to own it instead of clapping back at people who are expressing their opinions on the internet. And then last I checked, you've been one of his biggest supporters. You've been one of the biggest supporters of every player on this team. So, no, I don't appreciate that myself. I feel like Sauce needs to double back and basically, hey, man, you know, at the end of the day, we going through a lot over here in the locker room. We going to get it together. It's that simple. You don't have to come at people and try to, you know, be facetious about stuff. But, you know, hey, that's the new era of football. But I think you got a future in the NFL, Matt. I would advise you right after this show, you go turn up to the building, show them the tweet and say you got an invite, bro. In worst case scenario, blog it just in case they don't let you in. And at least you get something from it.
I like this idea. I got to get my car and start driving to Florham Park right now, I guess.
Hey, man, then get to it, man. You got an invite from a player. All right, you should be on the MVP list. Let's go.
Oh, brother. Well, Matt, thank you so much for taking time out of your morning to come on Wake Up and Ball. We really appreciate the segment, man. This is what we want. We want people like you to come on here for a segment. You're our first ever guest on our brand new show on the Roundtable Sports Network. Yes. So, Matt, we appreciate you, brother. Have a great rest of your day, and keep being you. Keep criticizing when it needs to be.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good rest of your show.
Thanks so much, Matt.
Peace out, Matt. There's Mr. Matt O'Leary, the great Matt O'Leary, coming on here to give us his thoughts. I mean, that was dope. Thank you for Matt for coming on here to take some time to give us his thoughts and details about that situation.
Richie, I got some further questions for you in Jets world, man. So, what's up with Sauce Gardner for real, though? He ain't been playing great football, and, you know, contract talk supposed to be starting next year. So, you know.
There's no contract talk now.
I'm just saying next year.
I think from his end, too. I mean,
if he keeps playing like this, I mean, are we talking about the big bucks still?
No, I think even if you're Sauce, you don't want to have a contract because your value isn't at what he thought it was. Like, if he did exactly what he did this season, like he did the first two seasons, I think he'd be asking for a contract. But now that he doesn't, he's not going to ask for it because he's going to want that value. I don't think you can justify paying him the price that we thought we were going to have to pay him in the offseason. And we're also going to have a brand new regime potentially. If there's a player to prioritize, TD, this offseason is Garrett Wilson, if you're going to talk about contracts.
Well, which is true. But Sauce, I think he has a little bit of leverage where his agent can, hey, we want our money now, or we want the big bucks now, or trade him. We want to be traded.
Trade him. Listen, he's played 3 seasons. We have him for 5 seasons and the franchise tag. The Jets have the leverage and they have the control. No, not every single player in the NFL wants to get, like, they want to get paid after the 3rd year, but not every player does. Jamar Chase hasn't even got paid. What makes you think Sauce will get paid after? Like, Jamar did not get paid after 3 years, and he's playing right now his 4th season of balling. So if there's a player that you need to prioritize to extend for the New York Jets, it's Garrett Wilson. That's who you got it. He's the one.
All right.
Garrett Wilson, man. Get your merch on Roundtable Sports.
Oh, that's fire. That's fire. Air
Wilson, baby. Get your merch. Fire. Get your merch, kids. Come on now. Let's go. I'm excited about it. Flick Shorts in the chat with the super chat. Cam Smith better than Sauce. I would not go that far. Definitely not. Thank you for the $2 super chat, though. Damn.
I can't even defend it. Never mind.
Cam Smith is he even in the league anymore? Is he even playing?
Stop it. Yeah, he playing. Yeah, he playing.
Starting?
Yeah, he been playing. Remember.
Yeah, balling. Brooklyn Nets versus Celtics. Let's go. Uh-oh. Is that tonight?
Is that tonight? I didn't know that the Nets got a loss on their schedule tonight.
Let's go, Brooklyn. I'm rooting for Brooklyn tonight, baby. Screw Boston.
I bet you are. I bet you are.
Thank you, Lisselle, for the super chat, my man. Much love to you guys. Please do us a favor. Smash the like button on your way into the show, folks. We're live on Wake Up and Ball every single Monday through Friday at 8:30 a.m. EST. You can find TD and myself live on the Roundtable Sports Network every single morning to break down everything across the sports landscape. All right, so we're covering every single sport, and now we're going to get into a new sport. Test TD's knowledge a little bit. Well, not test it. It's more educating.
Yeah,
right? We're not testing you, and that's okay. That's what we're here for. So here it is. Who will land the prize of Juan Soto? All right, Juan Soto is a guy that Jets fans and Jets fans, Giants fans, if you're in the football fan world, Yankees fans, Mets fans, it's all in for Juan Soto. This is a guy that is projected, TD, to get a $700 million contract, okay, over the course of either 12 to 14 years. The New York Yankees are the favorites because he was a Yankee this past year. He is an MVP finalist, okay? And I think the reason why this is a big deal, it's very rare for a player like Juan Soto to hit the open market. And the reason why is he checks all the boxes for for free agency. You want to know why? Because he is in the prime. He is young, man. He's a young superstar. He's only 26 years old. Okay? He entered baseball at 19 and was a dog immediately. So there is a lot of longevity with this player. Usually you get a player that hits the open market in their early 30s, late 20s, but he's 26 years old. And this is a guy that is looking for a contract that's going to reset the market. So you see the odds on BetUS Sportsbook, folks. If you guys want to go to BetUS, you guys can get a 150% bonus on your first deposit, 125% on your next two deposits. That's up to $2,000 to make your bets on where Juan Soto will end up. All right, so the Yankees are the favorites, but the Mets are right there as the second favorites, and the Dodgers are third, but I do not see him going to the Dodgers. That would just be unfair. Now, let me tell you this about this. You know who is the richest owner in baseball? By a landslide.
Fill me in. I would assume the Yankees owner.
That's what it was forever until the Mets got a brand new owner, and his name is Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen, picture Steve Cohen as me that happened to become a multi-billionaire and bought the Jets, right? Steve Cohen's story is amazing. He actually went to the same high school as my dad. He grew up on Long Island, New York, got into hedge funding, and Steve Cohen is now worth $15 billion. And he purchased the Mets, and he's a diehard, passionate Mets fan, happened to be a multi-billionaire, now running the Mets. And the cool thing about baseball that's different than basketball and the NFL, TD, is there's no salary cap. There's no limit. So it's not like you have to go underneath. So being the richest owner is actually an advantage. The difference is there's a luxury tax. So when you go over this threshold, you're going to have to pay a little bit more out of your own pocket as an owner, which kind of, does it. So the reason why I say that, let me just show you something. Richest owners in baseball value. So, Steve Cohen is the richest owner in baseball. He's worth $16 billion.
Uh-huh.
The second, and then you want to talk about the next richest owners?
Dodgers, right? Walker.
No, we got, right now, according to this, the Blue Jays owners, $11 billion, Braves, 6.6, Nationals, 6.6, Giants, 5, Guardians.
When's the last time that was updated? Because
this is 2024.
Yeah, Mark Walker, as of October 25th, now has $12.1 billion.
Yeah, so basically, Steve Cohen has more money than anybody in the whole league. And this is his time to make a splash. This is his time. Because growing up, for me as a young baseball fan, the Yankees were the ones that were running the books, overpaying for players. And it drove me nuts as a Mets fan. Like, oh my God, we used to have the cheap owners, the Wilpons. The previous owners of the Mets were the ones that were cheap. Now we have the richest owner in baseball by a landslide. And the Mets are about to overpay. They're going to pay Juan Soto a Mets tax, something that the Yankees are not going to be able to afford. So this is this is New York versus New York, man. It's Yankees or Mets, in my opinion. And this is a young superstar. So what's your thoughts of the baseball world and how it works financially comparative to the NFL and the NBA, where there's no salary cap and there's contracts getting handed out like a potential $700 million deal?
First of all, I think I know where he's going to go, but here's what I will say.
Where?
He's going to be a Dodger.
No, he's not, bro. There's no shot. If that happens, baseball is completely broken, man. Because they already signed Ohtani for $700+ million. There's no way they can do that again. No way.
Why they can't?
Because the Mets are going to offer the most. And
who just won it all? Who just won it all?
Soto's not in it just for a win. He's in it for the money, man. I'm telling you that right now. He is going to the team that's going to offer the most, and it's going to be the Mets.
So who just won it all?
The Dodgers.
All right. Did you see that the owner's value just doubled? How much he's worth? He went from $6.1 billion to $12.1 billion. I mean, he just basically profited $6 billion, Richie. Get a man $1 billion as far as I care. We about to be worth $20 billion in the next couple of years. This is what it's about.
Steve Cohen is not going to let that happen. Whatever the Dodgers are offering, he's going to offer an extra 30 bill.
Listen, they coming fresh. They coming fresh off of winning. Man, you talk about
the Mets are coming off winning.
They get Juan Soto. They could triple the price of everything, Richie. They like the Dodgers fans would go insane.
Well, first of all, the Mets brass is in Los Angeles right now, meeting with Juan Soto.
Of course they are. Of course
they're meeting with him. That's where Soto is. They're meeting with Soto. The owner and our superstar Francisco Lindor is with him as we speak to convince him to come to the New York Mets. And this is the Mets' opportunity. When Steve Cohen became the Mets owner, he made a deal right away. He traded for Francisco Lindor and gave him a $300 million contract to be our franchise shortstop. That was his moment to be like, oh, wow, okay, Steve Cohen's here. Now, Lindor took a little bit for him to become the guy, but now he's the face of the team, MVP finalist, going to lose it to Ohtani. But now you bring in Juan Soto, all bets are off, man, because that is going to level things up. It's really between the Yankees and the Mets. I really don't think the Dodgers have a chance.
Is that your bias, Richie?
No, I think it's between the Yankees and the Mets. The Yankees, speaking from the Yankees' perspective, TD, they have to re-sign him. They traded a lot for him. They acquired him via trade. They gave up a lot of their prospects, a lot of their future for Soto. It's one of those deals where, you know, when you trade for somebody at the deadline, you give up so much, but you got to extend him. Right? That is something that the Yankees need to do. If you're a Yankees fan, you are the ones that are desperate for Juan Soto. Because if you do not extend Soto, that is going to be a big, big issue if you're the New York Yankees. And this is Steve Cohen's opportunity to steal something away. So Yankees fans, you guys let me know in the chat, what's your level of optimism of bringing back Soto? And, you know, there's some dark horses out there like the Blue Jays, all right? I don't think that's going to happen. But I really, really do think it's between the two New York markets, man. I really do.
Listen, if it's about money,
it is.
Then
and winning.
Then all three of those teams, in my opinion, are in play. Now, if he's just strictly about winning, he could end up in Tampa. If he's
they don't even have a ballpark.
Yeah. But guess what? They're gonna build a state-of-the-art ballpark. They bring in Juan.
Yeah. Imagine Blue Jays. We've announced we've assigned Juan Soto for $700 million. But we don't have a ballpark. But yeah.
No, I'm just okay, Richie. I'm just saying, if he's like, man, if I go there, we're winning it. And you know what? They got money, but they ain't got the $700 million the Yankees, Mets, the Dodgers may be offering. But they got, you know, maybe they could swing 600. He'll go to Tampa. I'm just saying, the only thing that would hold Tampa.
But the thing about Tampa, bro, they can't. They're a small market team. They're not offering. They can't afford
Juan Soto come in the building. They're a large market team.
Small market team, meaning the owner cannot afford that. Like these owners don't bring in the revenue. They can't afford it.
But that's what I just said. You know, because of the money would be the only holdback. But if he's talking about winning, Richie, would Tampa not be the favorites if they got Juan?
Mm-mm.
You don't think so?
I mean, they would. They're a good team. But at the end of the day, the Mets had zero expectations this year, and they went to the NLCS. They were knocking on the door in the World Series. And the Yankees and the Dodgers had all the expectations. They lived up to it. So the Mets are on the rise. Now, there's another thing about the Mets that we have a pending free agent, Pete Alonso, our franchise first baseman. And he's a slugger. And the Yankees are actually meeting with Pete. There's rumors that he may go to the Yankees. In a perfect world, we sign both Pete and Soto, but the Mets may have to choose between one of them. And I think it's going to be Soto, hopefully. So it's an interesting time in baseball. This is something that we're going to keep an eye on. Maybe we'll get some baseball insiders in as a guest on the Wake Up and Ball show to kind of give us some scoops, because I think that we need to hear some more baseball inside. Let us know in the chat, guys, right now, if you had a crystal ball and you're placing your bet based off of the odds on the screen on BetUS, where are you putting your money?
Dodgers, Richie.
Nah, man. So we shall see. We will.
Who did I tell you was going to win it all, Richie? I may have been hating, but who did I tell you was going to win it all this year?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Dodgers the Dodgers are breaking baseball, and I want the Mets to start breaking baseball. K-Brock says, Mets had the highest base payroll in baseball. Richie, stop the cap. Listen, man. The Mets had, what was it, 80 or $90 million of their payroll of dead cap. We were paying $80 million to players that are not on our team. That's when you have the luxury of being a good owner. You know what the Mets did last year? Let me fill you in on how awesome Steve Cohen is. We were all in 2 years ago, not this past season, but 2 seasons ago, TD. We had, it's very similar to the Jets, if you really think of it. We had all these veterans, and we had all these talented players at the end of their careers. Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, 2 elite pitchers that's at the end of their careers. And we had expectations to win it all. And we flopped. We sucked. And you know what Steve Cohen did? He traded those players at the deadline, and he ate the money, and he basically bought prospects off of other teams. He told teams, he's like, listen, we want your best prospects, and we will pay the rest of the contracts of these players. So we're basically buying prospects off of you. That's the luxury of having a rich owner, that you can say, listen, we made a mistake. We're going to, we tried to go all in, did not work, and we shipped away the old guys. We're still paying their money, but give us your elite prospects. And that's what the Mets did by trading those players away. And that reset this entire team. So I'm very fortunate that Steve Cohen was able to admit defeat when he did, because that set them up for success in the long run.
Man, oh man.
JT says, as a Yankees fan, I'd rather have Pete so we can save money to allocate elsewhere. So, Yankees fans in the chat, you guys want Pete Alonso? Seems like it. Ball and B Money says Alonso is going to be a Yankee. Oh, that would really hurt my heart, I'll be honest, if Pete Alonso goes to the Yankees. I'm not going to lie, man. Pete Alonso is a franchise Met. Love him to death. I would hate him to go to the Yankees. Fine, I'll do you one better. Braxton Berrios better than Garrett. Troll job at its finest. So we shall see. It seems like you guys are enjoying the baseball talk. You enjoying it, TD? You getting into it?
Yeah, man. Listen, I'm gonna be in the baseball heavy this year. You know what, Richie? Here's your homework. Okay, give me 5 teams to follow this year in baseball. That will help me understand the league better.
Okay.
How about that?
I mean,
that'll be a good one. Like, because you can't follow every team, especially when you're new at it. And for those who are watching right now, baseball isn't my forte. I know the game. I watch the game. I've been to the game. As far as the politics of the front office and the moves being made, that's something that I'm going to be educating myself on as we continue through the show. But y'all got to maybe start. What are the 5 teams? I know Miami Marlins. That's a given.
Maybe you just follow a division. The NL East, the Marlins, the Mets.
The best division. Okay.
The Marlins, the Mets, the Phillies, the Braves, and the Nationals. Like, that's the Mets division, and it's very similar to football. You got to win the division in baseball. You know how basketball. Basketball, the divisions don't really matter.
Yeah.
Baseball does. It's like the NFL.
So I'll be playing against your favorite team if I follow the Miami Marlins.
Yeah, you should follow the Marlins.
Perfect.
Marlins, there you go. We're rivals. The Marlins stink. So that's
Marlins winning it all this year. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, let's go. Become a Marlins fan. Become a Marlins fan. Absolutely. And then we'll have a good opportunity. I mean, there's a lot of fun teams you can follow. The Padres out west are a really fun team. The Dodgers, of course. You want to follow the Yankees, the big market, because they're a fun story to watch. The Boston Red Sox. I mean, you got underrated teams like the Guardians that are the Cleveland Guardians now. I mean, there's a lot of teams you can follow. But definitely, if I were you, start following the hometown Miami Marlins team.
No, I mean, I actually used to, but back in the late 90s, early 2000s when I was young, when we were actually winning World Series, I know we beat the Cleveland, I always say Cavaliers, Guardians or whatever. We also beat one of the New York teams for a World Series. Yeah, I don't think it was the Mets. Yankees. Was it the Yankees? Yeah, I remember, man. So we got 2 chips, man. We got 2 World Series. How many the Mets got?
2.
Ooh, yeah. The Marlins will break it before y'all.
And we went to the World Series in 2015. I was there at the World Series. They lost in 5 games. And we had a chance to do the impossible this year, but we failed. So we shall see. But guys, let us know if you enjoyed the baseball talk and you want to see it more. We will definitely be following along the Juan Soto sweepstakes and maybe talk about some other free agents when they get signed and kind of go from there. So shout out to everybody that's tuning on in to the Wake Up and Ball Show. Do us a favor, guys. Hit the like button on your way in if you did not already. We really, really do appreciate each and every single one of you guys tuning in to the show. Let's get into the huddle. All right. Now, let's transition more into, you want to go to the NFL or the NBA?
It doesn't matter. Let's get it, Richie.
It doesn't matter?
Nope. And shout out to 264 people watching right now. We got a big showing on
200
X.
people on X right now.
Yeah, man. 66 on YouTube. Y'all punch that like button. Everybody on X, make sure you come over to YouTube to subscribe to the channel. And guess what? We got the channel membership up now, so you can join the membership of Wake Up and Ball with Richie and TD. All you have to do is hit that join button below next to the chat, and you can become a member of the channel and help us grow this thing and do bigger and better things, man.
Absolutely, folks. Don't forget the like button. Come on, only 36 likes. We could do better than that. We're live every single morning. We need you guys to show us some love. Show us some love. People want us to talk hockey. I'll be honest, that's the one sport I don't follow. But maybe
I go to a hockey game anytime, man.
Yeah, that's the one sport. It's the one sport I don't follow. But you never know. I can be well versed in any sport if I just give it a chance. Give it a chance. All right, let's get into the Dallas Cowboys because Dak Prescott is ruled out for the season. Where the heck do they go from here? You're very plugged in with Dallas. You always have a strong opinion on them, TD. So why don't you give us your thoughts of where do the Cowboys go from here? Is Deion Sanders is coming? Is he coming next year? Are they tanking now? Like, are they firing Mike McCarthy after the season? Like, where does Jerry Jones go?
Richie, who was the first one telling everybody of the potential of Deion and Shadur going to Dallas? Who was the first person that was delusional and crazy telling everybody that, Richie? Don't do that, Richie.
It was your wife. Not you.
Yeah, you might be right. But Richie, I'm telling you, it's in the works. That got paid, and it's a lot of dead cap to eat, but they're going to trade him next year. It ain't as much dead cap to eat as you think when you bring in a rookie quarterback. When you bring in a rookie quarterback, you're going to be eating that for 2 years. It's no difference from him being here. Or you draft Shadur and you go ahead and let Shadur sit for a year or two behind Dak.
But how do you incentivize him leaving Colorado? Like, does he really care that much about money? Is the money going to change?
Who?
Deion Sanders.
Richie, he's in the big leagues. He gonna be 10 times more money.
It's not about that's what I'm saying. It's not about the money.
It's not about the money, but it's prime time. It's whatever's gonna put him on the biggest stage. That's who he is. Are you kidding me? Do you not think that being the Dallas Richie, the media would go insane the moment they hire him and y'all see McCarthy fired. All the Dallas Cowboys taking interviews. People probably won't even know they interviewed Deion. They're going to interview 5 other coaches. And then all of a sudden, breaking news, the Dallas Cowboys hired Deion Sanders and nobody even knew they even interviewed. I am telling you, the sports world will go crazy. Dak will already know his days are numbered. Everybody will already know who's coming to be the quarterback. Because there ain't no better leverage, Richie. It doesn't matter. The Dallas Cowboys can have a 10th overall pick. Shadur Sanders is gonna be his daddy, and his daddy ain't letting him go nowhere else. You can play hardball all you want as an NFL team. I am telling you, it could really, really happen, Richie. And we need to stop looking at it as, oh no. I'm telling you, this is the biggest move in sports in years. Bigger than Juan Soto. That move, I am telling you, would be insane, Richie, and I can see it playing out. That dead cap and all that with Dak ain't an issue. And a matter of fact, I'm telling you now, I can see Deion coming right in. Deion might even tell you day one, oh, y'all know who we drafted. You know who we drafted. he'll tell everybody, you know who we drafted. And they're gonna be like, what does that mean for Dak? Oh, Dak is our and Deion will tell you Dak is our starting quarterback unless Jerry Jones says otherwise. And they might even let Dak start for 2 years while Shador is getting acclimated to the NFL. No rush. They ain't got no rush. They don't have any because Deion got to build his roster the way he want to build it anyway. So they might let Dak play for 2 years and then trade Dak, get even better assets. And I'm gonna tell you, man. And when you think about it, Richie, if Jerry Jones makes Dak Prescott available in a trade in March, Richie, how many teams are going to be going after Dak in a trade? You cannot tell me one of the top 3 draft picks.
Coming off a torn hamstring?
Richie, it's a hamstring. It ain't the ACL. Yeah, but Richie, Dak will be fine. It ain't like he out there running like Mike Vick anymore. Okay? I'm just saying, whoever got a top 3 pick, Richie, probably every single one of them, if they need a quarterback, they will take Dak Prescott, and they'll be getting him on a discount because Jerry Jones got to eat the dead cap. They're going to get, man, Dallas might get Shador and Travis Hunter if they traded Dak and got the first-round picks that they'll get from him. It'll be the biggest thing ever, Richie. I'm telling you now, Travis will be playing both ways in the NFL.
They're not getting both of them.
What? But you're missing the point. What if they trade Dak Prescott, Richie? So Dallas right now, Richie, Dallas might have a top 5 pick if things keep going south.
Yeah, they'll be able to pick one of Hunter and Sanders potentially. There's no way they're going to be able to get top 2 picks. Richie, they're projected to go 1 and 2, TD.
Richie, that's their This
is a very, very stretch. I hope you know this is a stretch. I see the vision, but it's not happening. I'll put money on it.
Whoever's picking in the top 3, they'll take a Dak Prescott on a discount. That's what you're missing. You're not paying Dak $60 million that the contract says. If you trade for him, you're gonna be on the hook for like $20 million for the next few years. It's the biggest discount you can ever get.
Yeah, but name the team that's going to want to trade for Dak that's going to be at the top of the draft. That's going to want to give up a top 3 pick and give up a chance to draft Travis Hunter or Sanders and get Dak Prescott coming off a torn hamstring in return.
That's the easy one. That's the easy one, Richie. Yeah.
Who is it?
Let's just go to the NFL standings.
Who are the Giants?
Yeah, they would. Yeah, they would.
No, they should be drafting Cam Ward or Sanders himself.
No. See, I get that. See, Cam Ward is going to make it easier for Dallas to do this. That's all I'm saying. Now watch. When you look at the AFC, right? Patriots aren't getting a quarterback, I don't think, right?
What about the Dolphins when they have the top 2 pick? Are they going to trade?
Nah, they're going to be stupid. And we ain't getting the top 2 pick. We're going to the Super Bowl. But listen, the Raiders, Richie, the Raiders wouldn't take Dak Prescott on a discount and give up their first-round pick. And remember, when they give up their first-round pick, they got to give up more than that. They're going to be giving up a future first, too, or a second. They'll be giving up a nice haul because this will be the best deal in NFL history. The receiving team will not be paying much of his salary at all. The Browns, I think they just stuck. They're going to be stuck for a little bit. The Tennessee Titans, these teams keep missing on quarterbacks. They'll take the guaranteed quarterback. They can get both of them, Richie, because their own draft pick plus whatever they trade Dak for, those draft picks will be enough to have 2. They might even have 2 top 3 picks, Richie. 2 top 3 picks. And Cam Ward is what makes it easier because somebody's taking Cam Ward in that. The Dallas Cowboys, I'm not crazy. I know what Jerry's doing. And don't let Colorado go win a natty.
They're not even sniffing the playoffs.
Are you kidding? Colorado, man. See, Richie, are you one of them Colorado haters? They're saying
no, but they're not. Games. What are they ranked?
They're ranked.
They're not even top 10, right?
They are. No. You're not wrong, but they still have a chance, I think, in their conference. Remember, the top of the conference.
Yeah, you said national championship.
Yeah. I mean, there's a possibility. They're trying to play for the.
Did they change the rules yet, or is this the last year of the college football? This is the first year of the new rule?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So what is the new rule? Enlighten me.
From my understanding, the top 4 power conferences, which Big 12 is one, they get a top 4 seed automatically. Whoever wins those divisions, those conferences, and then the rankings from there all the way to like 10 or 12 or something like that. Let me look at it. I think they're 18th right now with 3 more games to go, and they're the favorite in all 3. Richie, they're going to end up like 11 or 12-2.
They ain't win nothing. They can't contend with the best. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh man, stop that mess. Stop that. Y'all gonna keep on doubt. Y'all gonna keep on doubting Colorado, and they gonna keep winning. Y'all, a lot of people said Colorado wouldn't win 3 games this year. And now they already got the bowl. They're 7-2. 12 teams are in the playoffs, Richie, and they're ranked 18th right now, and they are favored in the next 3 games. All 3 of those teams, if I'm not mistaken, are like 3-7 right now. And any given Saturday, but they're the favorites, man. They could easily make the playoffs.
You never know. You never know. Guys, if you're enjoying Wake Up and Ball, this is the 3rd episode, and we'd love it if you guys can do us a favor and hit that like button. Right now, we have 50 likes, and we're trying to get to at least 100 likes per episode. That'd be awesome. Last episode, we got over 100 likes. The first episode, you guys absolutely killed it. Really, a lot of support. But this episode, we're slacking the like button. So do us a favor, like it. Also, subscribe to the Roundtable Sports Network. We're trying to get this to 19K subs as soon as we can. This show is going to be live every single morning, and we're really excited to continue the talk, continue the debate all across the sports landscape. How about that? You like that?
Love it. Let's get it.
All right. Now, this is a topic getting into some basketball that TD wanted to talk about, which is an interesting one. Will Chris Paul ever win a national now you got me in college mode still. Will Chris Paul ever win an NBA title? The Spurs are at 5-6 to start the season. I don't think he's ever going to win one personally. I don't think the Spurs have what it takes to win it with Victor Wembanyama. He's a generational talent. But the Spurs are not winning it. And he had a lot of chances to win it with other teams. But at the end of the day, I think the answer to this one is simple, TD. You wanted to talk about it. I don't think he ever will win one.
Yeah, I agree. It's time to start taking notice of stuff like this because, you want to know why I even brought this up? Because I went and I looked at the 75-year NBA rankings, right? And something shocked me. Do you know who Chris Paul was rated above? Allen Iverson. The 75-year NBA celebration, whatever, rankings, he was rated above Allen Iverson. And I want the chat to chime in. Do you think that Chris Paul has had a better career than Allen Iverson? And I think it's fair to judge that now because, Chris Paul is coming to the back end of his career. Any given year now, he's done. And I was shocked to see that Chris Paul, if I'm not mistaken, was like 34, 35, and Allen Iverson was 40th. And I don't like that blew my mind. And I went and I looked it up. Statistically, there's an argument to be made for that. I actually saw statistically there's an argument to be made. But you also have to look at the fact that Chris Paul may have played like 5 years more than Allen Iverson. And Allen Iverson has always had 10 times less around him than Chris Paul. We're talking about the true epitome of a one-man show in Allen Iverson. And I'm not going to lie to you, Richie. I'm not a big Chris Paul fan. I'm actually I'm a little Chris Paul hater because I'm a little biased because my favorite player in the NBA all the time was Rajon Rondo. And I can't forget the politics behind Rajon Rondo and Chris Paul after the Boston Celtics won their championship. Ray Allen was in cahoots with Danny Ainge and trying to bring Chris Paul in to replace Rondo. This caused the division in Boston, for those who don't know, to the point to where they had to have a secret fight. Rajon Rondo and Ray Allen had to put on boxing gloves, and they had a fight, like a real sanctioned fight between each other. None of them will talk about who won the fight or lost the fight, which is admirable, because they're men handling things like men. but that caused the division, and that ultimately led to Ray Allen leaving them and going to the Miami Heat. So for those who don't know that backstory, so ever since then, Rajon Rondo absolutely hated Chris Paul just for the thought of him trying to replace him on that Celtics team. And that's why you got all those fights between Rondo and Chris Paul over time. And I'll never forget what Rajon Rondo said in his face. I got a championship. You will never win one. If it's my one goal in this league, you will never win a championship. And basically, I saw in an interview Rondo was saying because the true point guards with a whole bunch of weapons around them they shouldn't be scorers. That was a belief of his.
That's their different. Yeah, that's the difference of those two players, in my opinion. AI is a pure scorer. Mm-hmm. Chris Paul's a pure point guard.
And AI didn't have anybody around him, so you needed to be a pure scorer. But Chris Paul, some would argue he hurt every team he was on that had stars around him because he was one of the main guys as well, which broke the chemistry. And that's what Rajon Rondo was arguing, that you got to be able to just be the orchestrator on the court, a true point guard. And I've always looked at this and I said, you know what? Time will tell. Time will tell. So I'll go out on a limb and say Rajon Rondo had a better career than Chris Paul overall.
That's ridiculous. That is like absolute.
Why did what was necessary to win the chip.
What are we doing here?
2 championships.
This is about Allen Iverson and Chris Paul. Don't even bring up Rajon Rondo, bro.
2 championships.
Yeah, he's a product of a great Boston Celtics team. What are you doing?
He made them great with his sacrifices.
Oh my God. You cannot convince me that Rajon Rondo has a better NBA career than the Hall of Famer Chris Paul.
He's a better winner. He's the better winner.
I mean, TD, if you want to connect this to the NFL, you can do this. If you're just going to look at championship rings and not at actual accolades, at actually like what they bring to the court, is that what we're doing? We just look at rings?
Well, if you at least got 2, yeah.
I think that's a little ridiculous, man. You talk about, I mean, I got to do research and think of an analogy to prove your point wrong, but Rajon Rondo does not come close to the career that Chris Paul had. Not even close. I mean, we're talking about AI and Chris Paul. That's actually close. No. Chris Paul and Rondo ain't even close, bro.
Why? Because Chris Paul was just a better scorer. That's it. That's all we're talking about in the difference.
Better facilitator.
You done lost your mind. You done lost your mind.
What? Chris Paul's one of the greatest facilitators we've ever seen.
And Rajon Rondo is one of the best facilitators you've ever seen.
Also, longevity. How good was Rondo? How many years was Rondo good? 2 years? 3? 4?
What is wrong with you, Rich?
5?
Are you kidding me?
What?
Are you kidding me?
He was good for like a day.
Stop it. Now you hate
Rajon Rondo. Wait. Whoa. You were talking about before that what makes you good is scoring. Rajon Rondo is terrible on offense. He can't score for the life of him.
That's not what I'm saying. That's what made Chris Paul good, the fact that he could score. The fact that he can score, but when you talk about pure facilitator, miss me with that. Rondo got a much higher basketball IQ.
Okay, but Chris Paul is marginally a better scorer than Rondo. Yeah, that's a fact. And he's a better playmaker. So there's no debate.
He is not a better playmaker.
Yes, he is,
That's
bro.
what Rajon Rondo was a playmaker. You better talk to your quote-unquote GOAT LeBron. He'll tell you the highest IQ in basketball he ever played with was Rajon Rondo.
How do you use this website? How do you
your GOAT LeBron said the highest basketball IQ he has ever played with was Rajon Rondo.
Well, he never played with Chris Paul. What do you expect?
Stop, man. Stop. They know who it is.
Man, you're here we go. Chris Paul versus Rajon Rondo. Perfect. Here we go. All right. Let's see it. So, all NBA first teams, Chris Paul 4, Rondo 0.
Start at the top.
Start at the top. Championships. Is that what we're doing? So is Bill Russell your GOAT or is it Michael Jordan?
I never watched Bill Russell, so I don't like to compare players that I never watched.
But he has way more championships than Jordan. If you're just going to look at the championships.
Totally different NBA back then. Totally different NBA, even different rules.
Nah, man, you're copping out.
Can we start at the top, Richie?
All right, 2 chips to Rondo because he was a product. See, you're proving my point. You're just looking at chips, and that's it.
Hey, that's all that matters. All right, come on, keep going.
Okay, NBA. Okay, Paul has 4 seasons over Rondo. He's played in 5 more playoffs than Rondo. He's been an all-star 12 times compared to Rondo's 4, not even close. He's been an NBA all-first team 4 times, which means you're the best player at your position 4 times. Rondo, 0.
See, what you're forgetting is Chris Paul was also the primary guy on those teams most of the time. He was
okay. If Rondo was this great player like Chris Paul was, then he would have been a primary guy on his team. Eventually, he never was.
How you gonna be the primary guy with Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, and Ray Allen? He said, "Let me be the orchestrator."
Bro, you're holding on to that Boston team because that's the one team that made you a basketball fan or something. I don't know what's wrong with you. You got all NBA teams, 11-1, all defensive team. Chris Paul's a better defender.
That's
7,
all hype, man. That's
7 all defensive teams.
That's all
okay.
hype.
Assist leader. Oh, look at that. Chris Paul 5, Rondo 3. I mean, there's literally not one metric that Rondo's better than.
Rondo played in the
steals,
Chris Paul
6.
was ISO.
Look at this. There's not one metric. Points per game, 17 to 9.8. Rebounds, tied. Assists, not even close. You said he's a better playmaker?
No, Richie, you keep on forgetting. Look at what was around these guys when they played.
Oh my God, look what's around these guys.
Rondo made the sacrifice to his career to win.
There's literally not one metric that I'm looking at that proves your point. Not one. You're ruining the integrity of your basketball analysis by saying this. You're pure bias about Rondo.
Rajon Rondo is gonna go out. He done went out like a champion. Chris Paul is gonna go out like Charles Barkley. Just stats.
Wait, so you're taking? Wait a second. I just realized something. How many rings did he win with Boston?
1.
Where's the other ring come from?
He's been to the finals 3. The Lakers.
What did he do on the Lakers team?
12 years. He led them in that championship when he came back from that injury.
Yeah,
are you kidding me? Do you know how they was playing? And they needed Rajon Rondo. Richie, during that regular season,
you're ridiculous, man. There's literally zero things on these comparisons that proves your point. Zero. There's not a thing. There's not one metric.
During that regular season with the Lakers, he averaged 11 minutes a game.
Folks, this guy's saying Rajon Rondo is better than Chris Paul.
He averaged 33 minutes a game. He was the big reason they won in the bubble.
You lost your mind, TD. You know that?
All I'm saying is one is a winner and one is not, Richie. That's all I'm saying.
You have lost your mind.
One is a winner and one is not. You should have pulled up the playoff stats. That's what you should have did.
He's better than the playoffs, man.
You should have pulled who's better in the playoffs?
Chris Paul.
Playoff Rondo? Are you kidding me?
Playoff Rondo.
I mean, you know them big battles he used to go up against New York and all of that.
Oh my gosh.
In Chicago, everybody, Derrick Rose, all of those guys, Isaiah Thomas. You know those battles. Listen. Rajon Rondo is a winner.
Look, points per game, best playoffs. I'm looking at it right now. And
one series, best playoffs, really?
2017, Chris Paul put up 25 per game. The most Rajon Rondo ever put up in a playoffs in his career is 17 a game. Okay? I don't know what we're doing here.
With stars around him.
Oh,
come on, man.
With stars around him. All you do is moving goalposts, man. Chris Paul took advantage of his team.
Okay, right. Richie. Chris Paul had the better.
This is about Allen Iverson and Chris Paul. Where did Rajon Rondo come from?
Because we don't want to argue the Iverson thing. They just got it wrong. We know Iverson was better, okay? But
no, we don't.
So you think Paul was better than Allen Iverson?
There's a debate for that.
Richie, you better say something.
Best all-around point guard.
Be careful. You better be careful, Richie. So you're saying that Chris Paul was better all around.
First of all, what the actual heck has Chris Paul done to you? Why do you hate him so much?
Because he ain't a winner. And I know his style of play was always going to keep him from winning a championship.
Man, you're making this show go a little further than it has to be because of this blasphemy.
All right, I'll leave it alone. We'll pick up later then.
We got to pick this up later, man. You're getting some craziness. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to Wake Up and Ball episode number 3. If you guys are enjoying the show, we're not going anywhere, man. We got a super chat from Flicks. Man, stop saying all these bums. Cam is taking the U to the Natty. We own our ACC division. We have a bye at the moment if playoffs started. What do you think about that? Are you plugged in with what Miami's doing in college? With Cam Ward?
Absolutely. They might be the champions this year. Miami is, man, Cam Ward, they needed that loss too last week because they just been coasting, just beating everybody, feeling good about it. They needed that loss. They really did. And I think that's going to wake them up and make them focus on paying attention to the details and getting it done. But yeah, Miami, I think at this point, they probably, some could argue, the favorite to win it all. And Cam Ward probably going to win the Heisman.
Over Travis?
Yeah, he probably will. Well, you know what's crazy? It's so close right now that it's going to matter on the back end of this season. Who starts padding those stats and looking amazing?
What about, what's his name from Boise State? Ashton.
Gentry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I always knew from a Heisman standpoint, I always felt like he was going to fade away. He's doing amazing things, but when you look at Travis playing both sides of the field, you can't go Gentry over somebody playing both sides and worthy of being a candidate on both sides. And then with Cam Ward, just the excellent play. I mean, his stats are right in line with 4 other Heisman winners. So he's going to be in it. Gentry, he belongs in the conversation, but I think Travis Hunter is going to cancel out Gentry. It don't matter how well Gentry do. You got a player playing both sides of the field and worthy on both sides. That's going to cancel Gentry out.
Interesting, man. We're catching up on every single topic that you love. Folks, don't forget to hit the like button. We're trying to get to 100. We're at 69. Nice. But we're not at 100. So that's unfortunate, but it's okay because we know that you guys are still supporting. So if you guys are watching right now, smash the thumbs up button. Final super chat of the show comes from Lissell. Magic Johnson over Rondo and CP3. I will take Stephen Curry over both of them. I agree with this.
Not even debatable. I agree with that. But Rajon Rondo is a winner. CP3 is
probably say Rondo's better than Magic Johnson.
No, he's not. Right? But Rondo is a winner. CP3 is not. That's all I'm saying.
You put Rondo on the same teams he was on, they would have won the championship.
Huh?
Just saying. You put Chris Paul on those same teams, they would have won.
Stop it, Richie. No, they wouldn't have.
Yeah, they would have.
I mean,
thank you for the super chat, man.
Do you know the teams Chris Paul was on and they lost? Like, come on. That's proof.
Yeah, I mean, who he had? Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. I mean, come on.
Okay, and guess what? Those guys should have been averaging 20 a night if he was the orchestrator he should have been. The problem is you got to set your guys up for easy baskets, not try to be the guy in the clutch and trying to make the basket.
Man. You are a Chris Paul hater. Flicks with another super chat. Cam Ward has accountability. He said him and his team was trash and boo-boo that game. He said we got to play better in his press. Yeah. Cam Ward's accountability?
Yeah, I mean, he's a dog, Richie. He going to come in and be a top 10 quarterback day one.
Really?
Yeah. This ain't no Caleb Williams hype. He going to come in and be a top 10 quarterback day one.
All right, Jets, you know what to do.
Oh, please. Y'all ain't
Flicks, thank you for the super chat. All right, folks, we're going to have to wrap up the show here unless there's some last-minute super chats coming in. Again, thank you guys so much. This has been a heck of a show. We went 8 minutes overtime for you guys. 8 minutes overtime for you all. Appreciate all the love. Shout out to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of this show all season long. Well, we'll see how long this show lasts. It's a matter of how much you guys support it, but we're going to do it as much as we can. TD, any final words to the Wake Up and Ball crew?
Yeah, man. Thanks for tuning in today, everyone. We had a huge following on Twitter, and YouTube continues to grow as well. We appreciate everybody that tunes in. Almost 400 people overall at one point. So we appreciate y'all once again. Listen, wake up and ball with Richie and TD every morning, Monday through Friday. Let's get it, y'all.
See you guys tomorrow morning. We'll see you later today for the huddle. Peace out, folks.
Peace. We are out.